As I was coming down around 8,450 meters, a climber was left behind by the team.
Please stay strong.
Some oxygen at that altitude when your brain is not functioning properly. You have to climb past the dead bodies and all that, and it's a humble reminder. This is like, it could be one of you. You could be one of them. Hey brother, is there any chance I can climb this? And he laughed. He's like, names people who have climbed Everest give up on that mountain. I was like, oh, okay. But then I really wanted to feel that experience of how it feels like reaching to the summit of this mountain. So convinced him, and we're taught how to wear the crampons in this Loguchi village, roughly around 5,000 meters. And we're just walking in the grass, replicating that snow and learning how to climb. And yeah, eventually we summited in the Loguchi, which is 6,200 meter peak, and then from there, it just started for me.
How did it feel the first time you actually achieved it?
It was amazing, man. We were in the summit quite early in the morning, and then as the sun was coming out, it leads the whole of the Himalayan range. You can see the Everest, the Lhotse, the Nirmal, and all that range, and yeah, and you just feel like you're standing above the clouds and all that. Of course, you get like fresh cold air hitting your face, and you just feel so fresh as well. But at the same time, you also worry about, now I have to go back down and all that. So yeah, you are like, all your senses are so alive at that moment. I think it's such a good experience.
You ended up then climbing Everest at a later date. The first time you tried to climb it, was it solo?
Yeah, so I tried to do that in 2016, and it wasn't even planned. It was the opportunity came in when my leave from normally we get like 3 weeks leave between the operational tour and all that, but we got like 4 weeks leave, and I was like, I cannot just go and go on a beach holiday and do not do anything or achieve nothing. So I was like, what can I do? But at that same time, Everest was on. So I convinced my wife and went to the bank, told them I need a loan to buy a car, and then got 15,000 pounds. I still remember it at the interest rate of 3.9%, and emptied my saving, and I went to Nepal. And then it was another crazy experience there. Yeah.
Did you get sick between Camp 1 and Camp 2?
Yeah. So what happened was, I was almost a month behind than the rest of the season's mountaineer. Most of the people were waiting for the summit beat and all that. So, and I was trying to do it solo. So I was trying to carry all my oxygens and everything by myself and all that. So yeah, and what happened was, at the end I got like altitude sickness, which is HAPE. That's high altitude pulmonary edema. That's water in the lungs. Then I was so angry with myself, with all this knowledge, because at that point I had climbed Dhaulagiri already, the world's 7th highest mountain. I was in a mountain cell within the SPS. So I was like, all this knowledge, and it's like, yeah. But it's about sometimes not knowing your body enough, and you're pushing a bit more, and then that's what it leads into those kind of incidents. But then what I did was I came down to Lukla. There's more detail in the book, obviously, just to keep it very short. I tried to believe myself that I can heal, and my thought process was, if you got a same patient in the hospital with the same illness, the one who has got a positive mindset, the one who believes that he can heal better, will get better. So I was kind of self-meditating, thinking that I can get better, and eventually I was 95% okay. And that's when I didn't only summit. That's when the rescue happened, and this rescue was particularly a huge role in my life. It played a massive role. So as I was coming down around 8,450 meters, a climber was she was left behind by the team and the guides. So yeah, and I decided to rescue her alone, and it took me 90 minutes to rescue from balcony down to Camp 4. And at that point I handed to the rescue team, and just to give you an example, the rescue team took 2 days to bring her from Camp 4 to Camp 2. So that was like, you know, and then at that point I realized, wow, if I have this oxygen at 8,000 meter, I can save someone's life like that. So even though my goal was to climb in all this mountain without oxygen, at that point I realized it wasn't about the ego, and also I changed my kind of, you know, like style. But yeah, so and then within 4 days of, you know, summiting Everest, I was in operation kicking doors. So, and nobody knew at this point other than my wife, not even my family. Nobody knew it. In 2017, I was one of the lead instructors for the Gurkha expedition on Everest. So at this point, the Gurkhas were trying to put the first serving soldier on the summit of Everest, and what happened that year was, at first the fixing team couldn't set the fixed lines. Whenever in my life I will get another chance as my team as a Gurkhas to go and climb Everest, you know, another time, which was going to be the third time, because, you know, 2015 was unsuccessful because of the earthquake and all that. So then I decided, look, I'm gonna lead this team. So, you know, we gathered all the Sherpas, you know, in a team of Sherpas and myself and one other instructors, and then we opened the route. And that's like, you know, the Sherpas and Gurkhas, you know, working together to make this impossible happen. And yeah, we opened the route for not only our team but for the rest of the season's mountaineer. And after that, I came to Kathmandu. We partied with the boys, with the team. Then I went up again. Then I climbed Everest again, Lhotse, which is the world's 4th highest mountain, and Makalu, which is the world's 5th highest mountain, in 5 days. And in that 5 days in between, I stopped at Namche Bazaar for partying for 2 nights. Otherwise, I could have done that in 3 days. And at the end, what happened was, I was at Makalu base camp. I was, you know, waiting for the helicopter to come and pick me up because I had to be back in UK for my special forces tax. But then the heli didn't come because of the weather. And I couldn't just keep waiting, so, you know, I ran from the base camp, you know, to the Noom. So it's about like 6 to 8 days worth of trekking, depending upon, you know, who you are. And, you know, we covered that distance in just 18 hours, and I was still okay. So I was like, oh, hello, this is something like, you know, I'm discovering myself. So, you know, at that point I realized I had so much to give into this mountaineering world and all that. So yeah.
What were some of the records that you broke while doing the project?
There are so many, I can't remember. The biggest I broke definitely was, you know, climbing all the 14 highest mountain in just 6 months, 6 days, breaking the previous record of nearly 8 years. The second one is I climbed Everest, Lhotse and Makalu, this time in just under 48 hours. The other one I can remember is I climbed all the mountain of Pakistan. You know, Pakistan mountain was really tough, and in just 23 days. And I didn't sleep for 90 days almost, and it was tough, man. But yeah, as I say, you know, nothing's impossible.
So in them 23 days, you didn't sleep in 19 days?
Yeah, back-to-back climb. I had to slap myself. I had to put the snow in my armpit. You know, I had to shout. It was crazy, brother.